Hey, what's up, guys? So, I just wanted to get in a quick video with some war practice in here so you guys can see how Odin works. And this first video is just going to be a few attacks with various teams against the spider-sided Mephisto. I didn't use the Superior 6 because I'm pretty sure they'll win. I didn't use a team with Old Man Logan because we can use those with our regular counters. So I went in with teams that we probably have specific uses for and that could really benefit us if we were to go in and use these teams against the spider side to one shot. Now, this is war practice, so I'm not sure the key differences in war because, Spider Society will get some buffs, some different buffs, but it appears that this Illuminati team should still be okay. It's something to maybe try if when you get your Odin or you're looking at trying to tell a teammate or something, an alliance mate, what's possible. I think mostly here, I was just experimenting around and just trying to wait till I get to Mephisto. And in the very beginning, I wanted to just focus on Peter as much as I could. And I think there was a time that comes in where I said, well, maybe I can hit this Pav and prevent him or stall him out from, doing his attacks to wipe out my team. But I don't know that there's really a set sequence here. I think for me, the main thing would be to just hit the Peter and then try to get to Mephisto as much as possible. I think at this point I went in on the penny a little bit. But for the most part, I just wanted to make sure that my Captain Britain could stay alive. So those were some things I was concerned with the retaliations or the attacks from Spider-Side and Mephisto. So lately for me, I haven't used the Nowhere team as much. And I thought that if this were a team that could actually work, which it may not in actual war, but if it could work, I could get a little more, I could get better value out of them. Now, as they're still usable. A lot of my alliance mates, they use them on the the infestation and some other key counters. But here it just appears that, and I actually did this twice, it appears that if you just go through the sequence and you kind of focus on the Peter, the Thor will hit the Mephisto. He just keeps retaliating. And at the end here, both times, there was an Odin and a Nova left. And so perhaps that's a way to go in and take a chance to see if you can one-shot it. Because if you can get that kind of value out of nowhere against the Spider Society, I think you've really elevated this team. So I wanted to try Gamma here, and I actually tried it twice. And for me, I have a couple of counters, two or three counters I really like to use Gamma on, or Gamma APOC. So I wouldn't even try this in the actual war, but I just want to see how they would do. And most of all, I was just impressed on how much Odin elevates the team. Now, this they do lose, and perhaps with some key practice or trying to really figure out how to take this team out, it may be able to be done. But for the most part, it's war, so Gamma could have a better use somewhere else as you see how this plays out. So this is just really trying the leftover pieces that I would use or have available in war. And I do have Secret Defenders, the three-piece on defense, or spread out in various rooms. And so my thought here was like, well, let's just see what they would do the four-piece, and this is without Photon. I'm pretty sure they would do much better with Photon, but I do keep Photon with A-Force for particular counters. So this is just trying to find a way to use Odin on one or two different teams that would have some potential to one-shot the Spider Society. I will probably do some practice later on with the four-piece just to see how they do for Cosmic Crucible purposes. But for the most part, I do think that in Cosmic Crucible, if I was going to really try it, I'd probably just go with Illuminati. Or if I were able to, depending on how the matchup was set up, I'd use the Superior Six. But I do want you to see how this plays out because it's really interesting, as perhaps if you did use the three-piece and you decided to take a different fourth, meaning this Doctor Strange, because I did not expect him to just die off the way he did, and I really didn't expect the Hard Light to die off the way she did. I thought they'd live a little longer, but clearly this two-piece here, and maybe Eternals, is something I may practice up a little later, could be a way to go in and take advantage of those older tunes to one-shot this Spider Society Mephisto. And so for war, my thought is, well, the A-Force does get the buff, so we'll just see how they do. And this is where I prefer to keep Photon. Like I said, I have a few counters I can use them on, and they come in pretty handy to just make sure I get those attacks in. But as far as war practice goes, it was good to see their potential or their limitations. And so just take a look to see how this plays out. So to my surprise, the new Avengers did a lot better than I expected them to. Once again, in the actual war, I'm not sure how well they would do, and this will be an even bigger punch up in war, as Spider decided would get those buffs, at least for this season. But to see them, when you take a look at what their health is and their damage is, and of course they get the buffs in war, it was still pretty impressive to see what they were able to do. So just watch how this plays out. Once again, I think I only went through this one once, and there's probably better ways to play it if this were a team you want to use. And quite naturally, it would have to be a team you had some investment in, because I think my entire team is G18, level 100, and some diamonds on some of the key tunes.